Right now on Good Morning America First Look, earthquake disaster, the race to help rescue people, potentially thousands trapped in the rubble in Venezuela. The U.S. military responding overnight.
Iran attacking a ship in the Strait of Hormuz. Is the critical waterway vital for oil supplies truly open?
The Supreme Court ruling that could trigger a wave of mass deportations, affecting people legally in the U.S. How it could disrupt multiple industries, including nursing homes and elder care facilities.
The massive home explosion, firefighters among the injured. What sparked the blast?
The crisis in the electronics industry, why buying a laptop, iPad, or video game is about to get a lot more expensive.
Plus, new details about Lionel Richie's health scare.
The nail biter for Team USA at the World Cup and the Fight Club reunion in the stands.
And an update on the dog everyone's fallen in love with. After a day at the ballpark, we tracked him down.
From ABC News, this is Good Morning America First Look.
Good Friday morning, everyone. I'm Sophie Flay.
And I'm Perry Russum in for Hannah. Let's get right to an earthquake disaster in Venezuela.
The U.S. military is mobilizing forces to send relief as the desperate search for survivors continues.
This morning, rescue workers in a race against the clock to find people trapped in the rubble after the twin earthquake disaster in Venezuela. Moments of joy as people are rescued, dragged from the ruins of buildings. This 4-year-old boy carried to safety. 3 more children covered in dust emerging from the rubble. But the outlook is bleak, with hundreds already confirmed dead, thousands injured, and as many as 25,000 people unaccounted for. Earthquake experts warn the death toll could top 10,000. The massive magnitude 7.2 and 7.5 earthquakes hit just 39 seconds apart. Aerial views show the extent of the devastation in the hard-hit city of La Guaira, building after building damaged or destroyed. And now, concerned that some buildings currently standing could collapse.
Even in my own building, there are many cracks in some of the apartments. In my own apartment, there's a lot of cracks in the walls.
Aid and rescue teams from around the world now on their way, including this team from the Los Angeles County Fire Department. The U.S. military sending 2 Navy ships and 2 planes to provide assistance. A Marine general will lead U.S. relief efforts. And in Miami, volunteers packing up supplies.
What are the things that are most in need right now?
Everything that's important. Food, medicines, all of the needs that are needed over there, the people, because sometimes they are families that they lose everything.
The first 48 hours after an earthquake are crucial for finding survivors, and that deadline is fast approaching.
New concern about the flow of traffic in the Strait of Hormuz after Iran attacked a cargo ship with a drone. Traffic through the critical waterway had picked up after President Trump signed a peace deal with Iran. Iran is warning ships to not travel outside of its approved shipping routes. Here's a message one ship heard from Iran.
If any vessel attempts to transit in the strait without our permission, it's responsible for any consequences of any danger.
If ships are moving as they should be moving, then that's what we're going to judge and that's what we're going to react to. If, on the other hand, this rhetoric is backed up by actual ships being threatened and ships are not moving, that's a violation of the agreement and we're going to have a problem with it.
President Trump last night insisted the strait is open, saying Iran wants peace with the U.S.
The other big story this morning, the impact of a new Supreme Court ruling that could trigger a wave of mass deportations, especially affecting people from Haiti. ABC's Karen Hua has the details. Karen, good morning.
Good morning, Sophie. This ruling could have wide-reaching consequences, not just for the immigrants themselves, but also for the industries they work in, including nursing homes and elder care programs. This morning, a Supreme Court decision is sending shockwaves through immigrant communities after the justices cleared the way for the Trump administration to strip legal protections from hundreds of thousands of Haitians and Syrians in the U.S. The 6-3 ruling ends what's called temporary protected status, or TPS, for roughly 350,000 Haitians, many of whom have lived and worked here legally for years after fleeing violence in Haiti or natural disasters like the 2010 Haiti earthquake. Most will now have to leave the U.S. or face deportation.
The decision creates the type of panic in a sense that people in our community are wondering what the best action to do now.
In Springfield, Ohio, where more than 10,000 Haitians live, community leaders say families are stunned.
TPS was the type of protection that allowed them to commute, to go to work, to do everything.
Springfield, Ohio made headlines during the 2024 campaign when then-candidate Trump spread baseless claims about Haitian immigrants eating pets.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
But the court's decision reaches far beyond any one community. Industry groups warn it could have serious consequences on the nation's elder care workforce, where tens of thousands of Haitians work as nurses and home health aides. But supporters of the court's ruling about temporary protected status say it's long overdue.
Temporary means temporary. When the condition of that country gets better, they need to go home.
The Supreme Court handed the Trump administration another win on immigration yesterday. The justices revived a policy allowing border agents to turn away asylum seekers before they ever set foot on U.S. soil. Trump aide Stephen Miller now declaring the country's asylum system all but shut down.
America's doors are closed fully to asylum seekers. We've set up agreements where if you want asylum, then we will find a country elsewhere in the world to take you. It's very simple, very elegant, a very complete solution.
Now, back to that ruling affecting Haitian immigrants. Ohio's Republican governor called the decision a mistake, saying Haitians were working and contributing to our community and economy yesterday. Today, it is now illegal to employ them. He noted sending them back to Haiti, where gangs control much of the country, could put them in danger. Perry?
All right, Karen, thank you. Sources say lawyers for accused CEO killer Luigi Mangione and federal prosecutors are discussing a possible guilty plea. Mangione has pleaded not guilty in the murder of United Healthcare executive Brian Thompson. Prosecutors and Mangione's defense team declined to comment on any plea talks.
Authorities have issued a warning for extreme fire danger in parts of the West, with dozens of wildfires burning. 4 fires in Utah have burned 140,000 acres. The Cottonwood fire is being called the most destructive on record in that state. The governor, ahead of July 4th, is banning fireworks. And take a look at this video. It shows just how dry it is. A burning RV igniting a brush fire in Arizona. It burned about 30 acres. We'll check today's forecast in just a moment.
As we head deeper into wildfire and hurricane season, a shakeup at FEMA, a top official is out after making a bizarre comment about being teleported to a Waffle House. This morning, Greg Phillips, a high-ranking official at the Federal Emergency Management Agency, has reportedly been put on leave after drawing controversy for his past remarks, including claims that he once teleported to a Waffle House restaurant.
It was an incredibly frightening moment to experience yourself in your car, flying through the air. Teleporting is no fun. I was with my boys one time, and I was telling I was going to go to Waffle House. And I ended up at a Waffle House like 50 miles away from where I was.
Phillips also claimed without evidence that millions of people voted illegally in the 2016 election. Posting on social media at the time, number of non-citizen votes exceeds 3 million. The comments were made before the Trump administration appointed him to lead FEMA's disaster response team last December. A person familiar with the situation reportedly told the Washington Post Phillips has been asked to step away from his role because of concerns about how he's publicly perceived. Phillips also reportedly clashed with other leaders in the Homeland Security Department, which oversees FEMA.
Time now for your Friday weather.
Good morning. Early showers from New York to Boston. A slight risk of severe storms from Missouri into Indiana. The Ohio Valley getting wet today. Showers Pacific Northwest, and another day some scattered storms in Denver once again. A couple could go severe. In the Southwest, it's the fire danger in the high heat. A rare extreme critical fire danger into the weekend. Nevada, into Utah, and also into Arizona. The heat's getting into the Midwest and early next week. Some heat waves, and to the East Coast as we go into next week. That's your forecast. I'm ABC News senior meteorologist Lee Goldberg. Have a great weekend.
Coming up, the NFL player facing possible life in prison, the ruling from the judge.
Also ahead, why buying a computer, iPad, or video game is about to get a lot more expensive.
And Vice President J.D. Vance visits the Nixon library, what he said about Watergate if it happened today. The NFL player accused of kidnapping and robbery is being held without bond. Lions cornerback Terrion Arnold appearing in a Florida courtroom here after police say he lured 3 men to an apartment where he allegedly robbed them, beat them, and held them at gunpoint. Investigators say Arnold thought the men stole property from his Airbnb. Arnold denies the charges. He could face life in prison if convicted.
Buying a computer, iPad, or a video game is about to get a lot more expensive. Prices are rising, in some cases dramatically. ABC's Andrea Fujii explains why.
2 tech giants are raising prices by hundreds of dollars on their most popular products, blaming the booming demand for memory chips, calling it chipflation.
AI is eating the world's memory chips.
Apple says it's increasing the MacBook Pro by $300 to nearly $2,000. And the iPad Air is up $150, now selling for $749. Microsoft joining suit, saying by August, some Xbox consoles will increase by $150. Why the big jump? The shortage of memory chips, which are being used in expanding artificial intelligence technology, leading to huge demand and increasing prices from the 3 companies that produce the chips.
It's the same memory that goes into your laptop. That same memory is the same thing that goes into data centers. And so everybody is racing to build these data centers, and that's what's eating up all of the world's chips by the truckload.
Consumers not happy.
What? The prices were already pretty raised.
I feel bad for anybody that ain't got that Xbox yet.
Apple explaining, we have never seen a component price increase this much, this quickly. Microsoft adding, the entire consumer electronics industry is struggling with the current components crisis. Experts warn prices may go even higher.
This is just the beginning of price increases. Unfortunately, Apple and Microsoft are 2 of the most premier players in this field. And if they are increasing their prices, we're going to see other competitors following suit.
iPhone prices remain unchanged for now. But with the news that Apple is raising prices on other products, its stock fell nearly 5% Thursday. Sophie, Perry.
Andrea, thank you. Vice President J.D. Vance is drawing comparisons between the wars in Iran and Vietnam during a visit to the Richard Nixon Library. Vance praised Nixon for the way he pulled out of Vietnam. He said Nixon stuck to his mission and suggested President Trump is doing the same with Iran. Vance also appeared to downplay the Watergate scandal.
If Watergate happened tomorrow, it would be like a 12-hour news story. Like, the idea that it would have taken down a presidency is crazy.
Vance also blamed the so-called deep state for Nixon's downfall.
Coming up, new details about Lionel Richie's health scare. A home explosion north of Seattle injured 5 people, including 3 firefighters. The house was leveled. Flames destroyed a neighboring home as well. The blast was caught on a doorbell camera. Investigators blaming fireworks for the explosion.
The WNBA has suspended the Phoenix Mercury's Alyssa Thomas for 1 game for shoving her fist into Caitlin Clark's neck. Look here, officials did not call a foul, but the replay showed the incident. Clark's coach calling it another unacceptable cheap shot. Tennis legend Chris Evert says her ovarian cancer has returned. She says she already had surgery and will soon begin chemo. She was scheduled to work as a commentator at Wimbledon, but has canceled. All right, coming up, Simon and Garfunkel are mending fences.
Plus, an update on the dog everyone's fallen in love with. Time to check the pulse. We begin with good news about Lionel Richie after his health scare on stage.
During the opening night of his tour, he was performing Dancing on the Ceiling, as you're listening to right now. When he had to pause and sit down, he told the crowd he felt dizzy, and he eventually left after calling for an intermission.
He's postponed his next 2 shows, but he's set to return to the stage Tuesday in Pittsburgh. Next, it's apparently water under the bridge for Simon and Garfunkel.
56 years after they went their separate ways, they apparently have buried the hatchet. Art Garfunkel tells People magazine he and Paul Simon had dinner last year, and there were tears and hugs. Both men are 84. Garfunkel says he's feeling very positive now.
As for Simon, his concert film premieres today on Disney+.
So check that out. Next, if your adult children live with you, you are not alone.
A new study finds the number of adults under age 35 living with their parents just hit a record. More than 25 million of them, about 70% of them, are employed. The main factors, no surprise, are housing prices and college debt. And next, an update from that very good boy from the Florida Marlins game we showed you this week.
It was bark at the park night, and one lucky dog shared a hot dog with his family. But it was the poor pooch in the background there, looking so patiently, who got all the attention.
It prompted the Marlins to release this poster, trying to find the dog to offer him a reward for being such a good boy. Well, they found him. His name is Jonah, and we talked to his owner.
We were completely oblivious to that video being taken in the moment, and then didn't find out about it for almost 24 hours. I was in my office at home working, and I hear her, like yell from the living room. I come out and she's like, "Oh my God, it's Jonah." Shows me, and I guess the rest is history.
As you can see, he finally got a hot dog, and the Marlins invited him back to throw out the first pitch next month.
He deserves that hot
so
dog.
much fun there.
Top headlines next. Checking more top stories, the U.S. military and relief organizations are racing to respond to the earthquake disaster in Venezuela. At least 235 people are confirmed dead, but thousands are still unaccounted for in the rubble after twin earthquakes late Wednesday.
In California, the jury is deadlocked in the arson trial of the man accused of setting the deadly Palisades fire in Los Angeles last year. The judge ordered jurors to resume deliberations today. Officials in Utah say a former youth pastor accused of killing his wife died by suicide before his court appearance. David Vandermeer was facing charges in the death of his wife on a hiking trail 20 years ago. He was allegedly in a relationship with an underage girl. Today's weather: extreme fire danger from Utah and Nevada to Arizona. More rain in the plains and Midwest. Lingering morning showers in the Northeast. And finally, celebrating Mel Brooks on his 100th birthday. Here's Danny New.
And yet he is 2,000 years old. Is that true, sir?
Yes, you want to see my driver's license?
The mensch who once played the 2,000-year-old man?
It's me, Mel Brooks.
Is now officially getting a 20th of the way there. This Sunday, comedian, filmmaker, and EGOT winner Mel Brooks turns 100 years old.
It's good to be the king.
Born Melvin Kaminsky, this Brooklynite got his big break writing for Sid Caesar's Your Show of Shows.
Step 6. We take $1 million and we fly to Rio de Janeiro. Rio.
Before creating an instant classic with his first feature-length film, The Producers. He won an Oscar for writing its screenplay. Its Broadway adaptation would go on to win a record 12 Tony Awards, and it set up his early partnership with Mr. Wonka himself, Gene Wilder.
Lies! Lies! Do you hear me?
A few years later, they would go on to co-write Young Frankenstein, which Brooks directed and Wilder starred in.
Hey, maybe you should eat something first.
No, thanks. Food makes me sick.
And that same year, Wilder would star alongside Cleavon Little in perhaps Brooks' most beloved comedy, Blazing Saddles. In fact, this weekend, the American Film Institute is declaring this Western satire as officially the funniest film of all time.
The Force? No, the Schwartz.
Of course, Brooks would also go on to poke fun at our parent company Disney's Star Wars with 1987's Spaceballs.
May the Schwartz be with you.
Which now has a sequel on the way next year with Brooks slotted to star. How does he keep doing it?
Ow.
Well, as he told ABC's George Stephanopoulos a few years ago, maybe he just loves his shtick.
Well, it's a good job.
At that time, guys, he was promoting his memoir, All About Me, which features this line on the last page. Even though it seems foolish and silly and crazy, comedy has the most to say about the human condition.
So true.
Yeah, and happy birthday to him. That's your Good Morning America First Look.
Have a great Friday.